Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hey everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Entri App Banking. So here I am with part 2 of previous year question paper for your examination Sbi Apprentice 2020. So this is the part 2, and in part 1 we have discussed some of the questions, like we have discussed jumble, parajumble sentences, we call it sentence rearrangement as well. We have talked about spotting error, where you have to find the error in this statement. And then we have also discussed filling the blanks and the questions based on correctly spelled words. So we have discussed all these things. So in part 2, we will discuss some more questions. So this is Leena Rawat, your English language experts. Let's dive into these questions so that you can get the idea about your upcoming examination. So as you can see, again, we have the question from filling the blanks. Okay, and the statement which is same, which we have already discussed in the part 1. So basically you have one blank, and for this blank you have A, B, C, D, 4 options. But what you need to do, you need to mark out of these options. That means you have to choose 2 words or a pair for this single blank. Okay, this blank needs 2 words. Okay, so we have options like jumping, dropping, plunging, showing, and the statement is with computer chips prices dash. With computer chips prices, we are talking about, the sentence is talking about prices due to an oversupply. Now stop here and do not read the rest of the part of the sentence, because what happens, this is the general thing. Okay, this is the basic science. What happens when there is oversupply, when there are so many products in the market, what will happen? Obviously the prices will go down. Okay, so what would you choose for that? Dropping, jumping, shoving, plunging, what? So we know the meaning of dropping means something is going down, the prices are going down. Okay, because there is oversupply, the manufacturer has decided that to cut down production, so that is why they have to cut down production. But you have to choose the pair. So if you choose B, okay, if you choose B, you have so many options like A, B, B, C, B, D. Okay, so you cannot use jumping because jumping is not relevant for the blank. And what about C, plunging? Plunging has the same meaning, means the dropping. So you have to choose B and C. That means mark answer second. Okay, 14th question, my health has been dash. Soaring, regaining, recovering. So the commonly used word is recovering. So what can you pair up with C? You can pair B or A. So soaring is something else. You cannot use soaring with it. You can only use regaining. So that means B and C is perfect pair for the blank and have to mark 2. Okay, moving further, again we have a question based on filling the blanks, but the different kind of direction. The direction is saying that we have 2 blanks, this blank and this blank, and for that we have 5 options. And if we think that there is no word given for this blank relevant or the appropriate word for the blanks, then you have to choose none of the above. This is the statement is talking about. So there are 4 words such as 1, 2, 3 and 4, and find out to one word that is to be put it in both first and second. That means you have to choose only and only one word, and that only one word should be suitable for both the blanks. So we have words like lousy, absurd, rotten, adder. What is the meaning of rotten? Means rotten things. Adder, to stick. Lousy, what is the meaning of lousy? It means something which is very bad. So what is the meaning of abjure? See, this is the word which is suitable for this blank. He will dash his allegiance to the king. He will abjure. Now what is the meaning of this word? When you say something, to say something publicly that you do not agree with it. To say something publicly or formally. Okay, publicly or formally, that you are not going to accept this thing. Okay, all right, so you are not going to accept that thing. So he will absorb his allegiance, and but there are passions of which a man cannot rid himself, seeing that they are born with him at his birth, and he has no power to publicly accepting this. That means abjure them, to absorb. So this is the correct word. Now we have the question from passage. That means you have a passage, you have to read it. So what you need to do, just pause the video and read the passage thoroughly, read it with full concentration, and let's go to the question. So I hope you have read the passage, and now we have the first question. That means question number 16, which is asking which of the following words can replace the word given in bold passage. Okay, so we can see that enticing is the word which is in bold or in red font. So what do you think, out of these options, what could be the meaning, or what could be the word that has the same meaning which can replace the word? So first of all, read this statement which is saying that Indian economy take baby steps, small steps towards digitization, hand holding and enticing customer with cashbacks. What is the meaning of enticing here? It is obvious that it has something related to customer, and what should be that? So here is the word alluring. It means attractive. Okay, attractive, influencing. That means alluring customers. So enticing can be replaced with alluring. Okay, this is the appropriate word. Now second question, I mean the 17th question, or the second question of this passage, is asking which of the following can be inferred from the passage above. So what is the meaning of this word inferred? It means when you have options which are not directly describing what has been written in the passage, okay, but it has inference, okay, it has the meaning. You have to understand that. So if you have gone through the passage, you get to know that the appropriate option answer for this question is this inference is statement 4. Okay, where you can find it, just look at the first statement. India is still a cash economy, but if anything managed to chip away at that, even if just slightly, it has been the rapidly innovating digital wallets industry, startups including Paytm, oxygen services and all. So India is still a cash economy. Anything has been able to weaken it, even slightly. It has been rapidly innovating digital wallets industry. So this is the thing which we can inference from the passage. Okay, so rest of the words, rest of the options are not appropriated. Okay, now the 18th question is saying a blank is given in the passage A. Which of the following phrases can replace the sentence correctly? Okay, so let's move to the passage, and as you can see, A is given here. So start reading it. Collecting all that information, including biometric details, is cumbersome, and so far digital wallet providers have managed to gather full KYC details for fewer than 10% of their customer. In other words, now we have to write something here. Now understand that it is talking about 10% of their customers. If they do not manage to get the full KYC details for fewer than 10% of their customers. So 10% is the keyword here. What do we need to do? We need to find the keyword, and the options has like that 10% have benefited. That's an overnight erosion of 90% of their customer base. No, it is not talking about overnight erosion. KYC details are difficult to manage. No, it is talking about that's a great advantage with addition of 90% of consumer base. So do you think when we can use this one for the that blank? No. See, second statement is saying that's an overnight erosion of 90% of their customer base. What happens when they manage to get more KYC done? Then what happens? There will be overnight erosion of 90% of their customer base. So this should be written in the blank. Okay, in the passage where you have seen the blank here. Okay, here you have to fill the second option. Okay, now 19th question is saying which of the statement is or are true. You can choose one, or even you can choose two. So you can choose only one or second statement. So if you are going through the passage, you must know that there are two statements, okay, which are true in the context of the passage. And what are these statements? Statement number 1 and 2. That means customer had to furnish all the information required under RBI full know your customer norms to use their digital wallets. So let's move to the passage and read this part, the second passage. It tells you everything. So digital wallets industry got standard unable to meet Reserve Bank of India deadline for collecting information on all customers. In effect, customers who haven't furnished all the information required under IBI. So all these things tells everything, okay. And what about the second statement? For the second statement, look at this part, okay. So you will get the answer, okay. Now 28th question is saying, what is or are the reasons behind RBI's decisions to make full KYC mandatory for digital wallets? For that, have a look here. It was as simple as that. Now customer have to submit photo ID proofs, link their Aadhaar identity numbers, and submit biometric details, making the process almost like opening a bank account. Even so, RBI made full mandatory for digital wallets to what? To reduce fraud in the system, and eventually bring in interoperability among the wallets. So this is the reason. And where is that? You can see this in the second point. Reduce frauds and bring in interoperability among the wallets, okay. So we are done with our passage. Now we have cloze test. From 21 to 25th question, you will have questions based on your cloze test. So basically cloze test is a paragraph when you have to fill some words, okay. They are removed or deleted from the passage and you have to find the one. So first of all, you have to go through this passage and one by one start filling up your answers. So first one is saying, first statement is saying 4 of the most important forms, that is Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram of social media dash great damage. It is a damage and we have options like these. Now let us understand the meaning of these words. If we say desecrate, it means to treat a sacred place, a holy place, or who is very well reputed person or place with disrespect. When you treat someone or something with disrespect, who is actually sacred, who is or which is actually sacred, okay. Impious means immoral, sinful, inflict something unpleasant, and perpetrating means commit illegal or harmful action. So we have to write here inflict. It will go with the context. Social media inflict great damage upon young people's mental health. These 4 platforms have a negative effect because they can do what? They can mitigate, okay, exacerbate, alleviate, or effectuate. So alleviate and mitigate both have the same meaning. Means when you make something less severe, okay. When something is very painful and you make it less severe. So this is the meaning of mitigate or alleviate. Exacerbate means, what is the meaning of exacerbate? Make a situation worse, okay. When you're making something more bad. So this is the meaning of exacerbate. And effectuate means put into force. So what would you choose for the blank? Obviously you have to choose exacerbate, okay. Exacerbate means to make something more bad or very worse, okay. So can exacerbate children's, so this effect can exacerbate, increase children's and young people body image worries and worsen bullying, sleep problems, anxiety, depression, and loneliness. The findings, the researches follow growing brittle, consternate, poise, or concern. What is the meaning of these words? To show anger, resentment. Concentrate means to fill someone with anxiety. Consternate. Poise means graceful. So what would be the answer? It should be concern. Okay, so what would you write here? You have to write the findings follow growing concern among politicians, health bodies, doctors, parents about young people suffering harm as a result of cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is also happening here, and social media dash feelings of self-loathing. What kind of feeling they have? They have reinforcing feeling of self-loathing. And what is the meaning of reinforcing? To strengthen someone, to make someone strong. So they are strengthening, reinforcing the feeling of self-loathing and leading them to commit suicide. They are not feeling good about themselves, so they commit suicide. However, the leader of the UK's psychiatrist and said these findings were too simplistic and they blamed social media. So what did he say? He said that these findings, whatever findings are mentioned here, were too simplistic and they blamed social media. So legitimately, outlandish, unfairly, impartially and unfairly. I hope you know the meaning of both these words. Legitimately means something illegally. Outlandish means unfamiliar. So the correct word for this blank is unfairly. So he just refused the findings. He is not going to accept these findings, and said that they were too simplistic and they just unfairly blamed social media for the complex reason why the mental health of so many young people is suffering. That means this is not only the cause of people suffering, or the reason of people committing suicides. So this is all about part 2. We have discussed 25 questions for your SBI Apprentice Exam 2020. I hope you get the idea about the question pattern, the exam, or how much you need to prepare yourself. You should maintain the speed and accuracy, all these things. So I hope you will crack this exam and I wish you all the best. So I'll see you next class. Till then, take care.